Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks so much for joining me again for another episode of Friday Sews. So as always, a huge thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for setting up this fabulous hashtag. It's been 2 weeks since my last Friday Sews and I have so much to catch you up on. It's been a very busy 2 weeks. But before I get started, I would like to say a massive thank you to everybody who wished me happy birthday, both here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. So it was my birthday recently and I was just blown away by the amount of messages and the good wishes. So thank you very much. I had a wonderful weekend. The weather actually cooperated, which was marvellous. My parents came up, which was lovely. They babysat, so myself and Mr. French Seams managed to sneak out for a rare birthday date night, which was gorgeous. We went out for a beautiful meal. I wore my new fringe dress and Marlo cardigan, which I just love. I just adore that dress so much. So it's now my special birthday dress. It reminds me of Stitch Festival. It's just wonderful and I've worn it twice since as well. So I do wear it to work as well because I wear dresses to work, and it's just a very special dress and I love it. So I also had a little birthday cake. So as you know from my channel, I often make my little boys birthday cakes. So I made myself a birthday cake and I was instructed that I wanted a Little Miss Sunshine cake. So I'll pop in a picture here of the birthday cake that I made. So it's a Mary Berry chocolate recipe for anybody who wants to know. Don't look anywhere else for any kind of cake recipe. Just always go to Mary Berry. It was absolutely delicious. So yes, had a lovely weekend, and then I had my quilting bee and I was totally spoiled at that because I walked in and there was balloons and there was little drinks and stuff and a card, and it was just lovely to mark it that way with my new quilting friends as well. Then also that week we had the sewing bee and I had two lovely friends, so sewing friends who live locally, which is amazing. So I had them over to watch the sewing bee as well. So that was kids week, which was great fun. So we all watched it together and then had a bit of a chat, which was lovely. And I would also like to mention that if you do watch the sewing bee, I hope you do, be sure to check out the lovely Sam from Sew Let's Spark with Sam. She does the most amazing roundup the day after. It's just wonderful. Sam is just amazing. And then another amazing lady is Katie from Whatever Katie Sews. She does an Instagram live after every episode, which is really good fun because you get to kind of chat with other sewing people straight after the episode and see what other people thought about the judgments, about the outfits, everything. It's lovely to talk to sewing people about that. So I would encourage you to check out both of those lovely ladies. I'll link both of their Instagrams below and also Sam's YouTube, so be sure to check them out. So that's what I've been getting up to over the past few weeks. I would also like to say a massive thank you to everybody who watched my Sewfruity reveal video. So Sewfruity now has just finished, so you'll see this is my gorgeous flare dress behind me, which I absolutely love. I love it so much. So I put out a Sewfruity reveal vlog, which I'll link to below as well, to show what I made. I made this dress, I made a little cardigan, I made pajamas for my boys, and I made a bag. And the pajamas that I made my boys actually won a prize. So it was a random draw and I was very lucky to win a prize, but more on that later. So what have I been sewing? So I've got loads of notes here because I've got so much to catch you up on. I have been quilting. So I have now finished the topper for my, it's called the Spring Quilt and it's by Rope and Anchor. And I finished it. It went together really quickly. I was so surprised. So once you've got all the blocks, all the little squares done, you just line them up how they are in the rows. You just follow the instructions and then you just sew them together, and it came together really quickly. So I will show you what it looks like. Hopefully you'll be able to see. I will pop in a big picture that I just took on the sitting room floor to give you an idea. But if I stand up like this is what it looks like. Not quite sure if that's giving you a good impression of the quilt at all, but hopefully you get the idea. So it's navy, and then I bought the navy and the light yellow I bought from Trimmings, and then the dark yellow ochre mustardy colour is the curtains that I made for our bedroom. I made my life incredibly difficult because this is kind of a jacquard fabric and boy does it fray. I'm not even going to show you the back because it's an absolute disaster, but it all went together very nicely. So I'm very happy with how it's coming together. So I just need to buy some batting because I have completely run out. I've got a little bit left, but it's not enough to back this, so I do need to buy a bit more, and then I'm just going to back it with the navy. So that'll be a few more weeks before I get any more progress in that, but absolutely delighted with how it's looking. So it's a square quilt. I think it's 54, 56 square inches, and I think it's just going to look really nice and it's finished. So I'm delighted about how quickly that came together. All my points kind of match up. most of them do anyway. So lovely, lovely pattern. I would highly recommend it. It's just lovely, and it's just half square triangles and squares, and it's just, the effect of it is just beautiful. I love it. However, I do need your help with something. So I did a little scrap of it here, and I need your help to see what colour thread I'm going to quilt it with. So if I show you this, so I did a little sample. This is with navy thread. So it disappears in the navy, but then it shows on the yellows. And then this is yellowy, mustardy kind of thread, which doesn't show on the yellows, but does show on the navy. And then I was kind of playing with straight lines or wibbly lines or whatever. So I'm not quite sure. I'm kind of leaning towards mustard because I think it looks nicer being able to see it on the navy and not in the yellow, as opposed to not being able to see it in the navy on the yellow, if that makes sense. So your advice would be gratefully received on how to quilt it and what designs, all that kind of stuff. So that was my quilt topper. And then I have been doing the lovely Izzy from Izzy Quilt and Sews. I've been doing her Quilt As You Go series, as you're well aware. She releases a block every 3 weeks, and this one came out recently, and this one is called Square in a Square, and this is what it looks like. So delighted with this. So the block is relatively simple. It's just literally a square, and then you put on these other squares, again with the fluff. This batting is really, really nice, but it's fluffy. So then you just flap these over to make a little kind of square in a square, and the effect is lovely. But then the drama comes with the free motion embroidery, which I just love. I've got so into it. So I am now using my foot pedal, which has made a massive difference. And this one, I think it's called paisley. To me, they look like mussels, and I adore moule. Moule frite is one of my favourite dishes. So it reminds me kind of the sea, of mussels, and it's just beautiful. I love the effect. I haven't quite got the handle on consistent stitch length. So some of them are long, some of them are short. If I bring it a little bit closer to you, don't look too close, but from the back, from afar, it just gives this most beautiful texture, and I just love how it came out. I'm really, really proud of this one actually. So through all my free motion, it's kind of, if I hold up all the blocks, it's getting a little bit better as the weeks progress. And this is now actually block 8, so we only have 1 left to go. And I backed it with gingham, so you can't really see, you can just kind of slightly see the little paisleys on the back. But very, very happy with this. So there is 1 block left. I will link Izzy's channel below. It's just, you know how I feel about this series. It's just marvellous. I enjoy it so much, and I get so excited when I see her video pop up every 3 Sundays. But yes, adore this, and I would love to be, I'd love to be able to do that on a huge quilt, but my shoulders were aching after doing this 1 block, so I can imagine having to do it on an entire quilt. But anyway, so that was my Quilt As You Go. So the next thing I got made up is what I'm wearing, and this is the Avanir jumpsuit. So delighted with this. So this is the Avanir jumpsuit, and it's fabric from Driessenstoffen. It's a lovely viscose fabric, and I've completely forgotten the pattern designer, so I'll write it down the bottom. I've completely forgotten, I apologise, and I am delighted with it. So I pored over the instructions, pored over the sizing. I've seen so many beautiful versions by over on Instagram of these jumpsuits recently, so I was really, really keen to give it a go. And I was just really debating about the size and about the rise and about the length and all that kind of stuff. So I pored over the Northern Sewl sisters video when they did the Avanir, because I'm kind of in and around their sizes and heights and everything, so I thought they'd be able to give me a good base, and they had some fabulous tips, so thank you very, very much, ladies. And here it is. So I shall stand back. Here it is. Oops, my chair, and it's full length. I've just got little booties on today, and it's got pockets, and yeah, delighted with it. So that's what it looks like. I like the fit on the BOT Tom. So yeah, very, very happy with it. So the things that were a bit tricky. So yes, the elastic at the neckline, which actually I love the way it almost gives like a square neck. So my elastic, I think you're meant to have 1/2 inch elastic. I think mine was 1.5 centimeters, so it was a little bit wider. So when I did the channel, it was miles too big. The elastic just wouldn't go through. So then I unpicked that and just overlocked it to make the channel a little bit bigger. And it doesn't twist inside the channel, but it kind of flaps forward, if you know what I mean. But I don't think you can really tell with the busy print, but I think it gives a lovely neckline. Also the pockets, so the lovely Rachel on the Northern Sewl sisters mentioned about the pockets being quite small, so I took that on board, and I actually took the pocket piece pattern and I made it slightly wider, and also I lengthened it at the top. So I've now secured that into the waist seam, and I'm very, very happy I did, because it gives a lovely pocket, and it's very similar to So I basically did what the fleur has you do in the pocket. So it's secured into the waist seam and I've made it grand and big. It's fabulous and I'm very, very happy I did that rather than a flappy pocket. So I made a size medium. Again, I poured over that. So that's more or less my measurements. On reflection, I probably should have made a medium grading to a large because I made and then I was wondering what to add to the bodice length. So I didn't end up adding much at all, and I didn't add oh my goodness, I put my teeth back in. I didn't end up changing the rise at all. So in effect, I've made a size medium, but with a large bodice length. So I think in effect that added maybe like a centimetre, which I think is perfect. I didn't want it too blousy. And then the legs I made a medium. However, when I sewed them all up, it was fine. But when I put my hands in my pocket, it was a little bit tight. It was just tight around the hips here. So what I did was I actually unpicked all that, and because I had overlocked the legs separately, I was just able to take out the seam allowance a little bit. So instead of the 5/8 seam allowance, it's maybe 3/8 or something. So I was able to give myself a little bit more wiggle room there on the legs, which worked out perfectly. So on reflection, I probably should have done a medium grading to a large like I was going to originally, and then change my mind thinking a medium would be fine. Not really. So lesson learned. So then I also reduced the sleeves by 4 inches. So I took out 4 inches from the sleeve length because I like them a little bit shorter. And then I added about 1 inch to the leg length. I was so limited by my fabric. It's quite fabric hungry because it's a whole jumpsuit, but I think my fabric was very, very narrow. So I literally, I've overlocked the edge of the trousers and folded up once. So I've got the most tiny hem and they're quite short. I would love if they were a little bit longer. They're probably okay for wearing with flat shoes, but with heels on today, they're a little bit short. I would love an extra bit of length, and I literally had crumbs left of the fabric, so I couldn't do anything with it. But I'm very, very happy. And yeah, I'm getting really, really into jumpsuits now. And I just love how this came out. So I would recommend the Avanir jumpsuit. Is it Friday Pattern Company? Maybe. I would recommend it to anybody. So following along from my relative success of the Avanir jumpsuit and my fabulous prize that I won in Sewfruity, so I can't believe I won a prize. Thank you so much. A massive thank you to Yvette from Blossom Sandwich, and also a huge thanks to Donna from Size Me Sewing because I won one of her lovely PDF patterns. So I was poring over her website trying to decide which one to choose, and I finally rounded on the Serene jumpsuit. So I'll pop in a picture here. It looks fabulous. So I was literally just finished this and I was like, oh, well, I'll try another jumpsuit. You know, you're a bit elated after having a good make. So this one looks amazing. So basically just a little bodice, it's for woven, but the bodice is secured into the front bodice is secured into the trousers, but not the back. And then you do something very, very clever with kind of buttons and ties. And it means you can flap the whole thing out almost like a nappy. And you can have a little comfort break without getting fully undressed, which I think is genius. So they have a video on their Instagram kind of showing this in play, and I was showing my husband. My husband is looking at me going, what is this? He just couldn't understand what was happening and why it was so important to us. So I'm really, really looking forward to giving that a go. So again, huge thank you to Donna and to Yvette for that fabulous challenge. I know that everybody loved it, and I just loved seeing everybody's reveals over on Instagram. So I will link my reveal video below. Lots of fluff. But yeah, so delighted to have won a prize in that challenge. So thank you very, very much. So that was one little pattern I got during the week. Another few patterns that I did actually buy during the week as well, because I was so influenced by what I saw over on Instagram. The first one is the Kelly dress, and that's from Forget Me Not Patterns. And I'd seen little teasers of this from the lovely Kath from Made by Kathcraft and Amelia from Sew Amelia. And these popped up on Instagram and I was like, that dress looks really, really pretty. So it's a woven dress, quite fitted bodice, and then a nice big skirt, but it's got the most beautiful V frill detail at the front, and it's got buttons, so almost like a kind of an elevated shift dress. And I thought these looked so, so, so pretty. So I didn't end up buying the pattern, and I've got that stashed away now because I'm kind of thinking towards frocktails, the vintage tea frocktails in September. So I'm wondering, could that be a contender? The other contender could be a new pattern that's been released as well, and it's called the Fibre Mood Khloe. And again, you know how I love a clever tie, how I love a wrap, how I love kind of clever construction like that. And this Fibre Mood, totally influenced by Time to Sew over on Instagram. It's basically like a kind of tabard apron thing that goes over your head, and the front and back are in 2 separate pieces, and then again with clever tying you tie it around the front. I think it looks so pretty, so I would also love to give that a go. It could be quite a summery make, but I think during the winter you could pop a long sleeve very thin top underneath it and make it into a more kind of wintry pinafore dress. I think would look really, really nice. So those 2 patterns I was really, really taken by, and I'll link to those patterns below as well. So what else happened last week? I got some Happy Post. So I got some lovely labels from let me get the name right, the Cozy Club labels. So I will link it all below. And I got 2 designs. So I got these ones, and it's little blue gingham ones, and these say, did I say Cozy Club Handmade? Yes, apologies, want to get the name right. And these ones are little strawberries on gingham background, and this side says Hello Summer, and this one here is sunglasses, and it says Made for Sunny Days, and I think these are adorable, so cute. So I was really keen to get those ones. Then she also sent a beautiful little card, which I think is cute, thank you card. And she's called Rachel as well, which is wonderful. And then these ones, I think these are really, really great. These are, at the front it says, oops, mistakes were made. And then on the back, it has a little stitch ripper with wings saying solutions were found, which basically sums up the Avanir, where I had to unpick most of it and redo it. So I love these. So thank you very, very much, Rachel. They're adorable. I can't wait to put them in some summery makes. So what will I put them in this week? I hear you cry. So I have, oops, oh yes, that's what I want to show you. I think this Avanir jumpsuit goes perfectly with my new Marlo cardigan. So yeah, don't you love it when your wardrobe becomes unintentional capsule wardrobe? So very happy with that little pairing. So what would I like to get done next week? So I've got a busy weekend. I won't get much sewing done, but next week I think I will have a few evenings to get some sewing done. So I would like to make 2 t-shirts. So I've got beautiful fabric here. So this fabric is from Trimmings, which is local to me. It's a lovely cotton jersey, and it's most beautiful blue stripes. I think those colours are really, really striking together and really vibrant. It gives kind of swimming pool, summer vibes. So I think this would look adorable in that t-shirt. And for this one, I'm going to make another Emmie tee by Jennifer Lauren Handmade, because I love that pattern. It just has grown on short sleeves and a little neckband, and I think it's a really, really nice pattern. I've made it so many times. I've recently made it in long sleeve, but I do prefer the short sleeve version. So I think this would make a beautiful Emmie tee. And then the other thing I'd like to make in this beautiful coral colour, absolutely gorgeous. This is from Driessenstoffen. This again is a cotton jersey, matches my nails. And for this, I would like to do another go of the Brea tee, which is by Half Moon Atelier. So Brea tee is a fabulous pattern. You can make it as a woven or as a knit. So the woven version basically is just a kind of a shell top with little cuff details on the short sleeves. But then the knit version has got a waistband, but then it's got a really, really cool construction. You basically put the back and front together, and then you put them together with binding. So all the armhole is all bound all the way across. I'll put in a picture. I have a green one that I love, and I would love to make that again. So I'm hoping I have enough. I think I bought, did I buy a metre and a half? I can't remember. I'm hoping about more than a metre. If I can get this out and also get the binding out of this, which would be really, really great. So I'll make my own binding to match, but I think this would make a really pretty Brea tee. So they are my plans. So that's basically what I've been getting up to. So yes, a Friday Sews only every 2 weeks. I have an awful lot to catch you up on, so I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions on anything I've mentioned, on any of the patterns, any of the whatever I've been chatting about for the past 17 minutes, please let me know in the comment box below. You know how much I love having the chats. Let me know what you're working on, and I will hopefully come back to you next week with another Friday Sews, although I am conscious that I haven't done a makes video in a long time, and I think I have to do my April, May and June makes, which will be another bumper edition. But I would like to get those makes video done, because I like the way it brings everything together about what I've been getting up to. So hopefully I'll have that for you in the not too distant future. But I hope you're all well. I hope you're all getting some time for some lovely, lovely sewing. A huge thank you again for all the lovely birthday wishes, and thank you very, very much for joining me in this video today. I hope you have a lovely week, and I will catch you all again very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.